How you doing, baby? Happy Wednesday. Good morning, good morning. And hey, baby girl, how you doing? And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to the YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe. That's spelled Shakenya. Look at some of the videos, and if you see something you like, just share it. That's it. That's it. Ain't that simple? It sounds simple. You was checking for me this morning. You was looking at the clock. I know. I know you was. And I'm going to be honest, I was not going to come on today either. I've been going strong since Saturday. Yeah, go back. I've been going on since Saturday. And I said, you know what? That'd be bold as hell to bring y'all this far and then just leave y'all. So I had to sit with myself. Like, what would Jesus do? And I said, okay, Lord, here I come. I'm on my way. Let me get up to that coffee place and tell those people what the next step is. Yeah. So lately, since Saturday, you might feel like you're building something. You're building this child. It might feel that way because we done added layers on top of layers and on top of layers. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna recap everything that you've learned since Saturday. And we're going to bring you up to what you need to do at this point after you've done all of this. Because you got to do all of this. I'm telling you, you got to do all of this. Don't try to skirt around it. Don't take it out of order. Because y'all do that. People do not like doing what they're supposed to do or what they told to do. They want to switch it up. No, it got to be in this order. It got to be. Hey, Andre, good morning, King. Got to be in this order. So first, we were trying to find balance between helping your child be who they want to be when they grow up, and also incorporating some things that you might want them to do and be when they grow up, even if they different. So we talked about finding balance, and we talked about how to do some of this stuff. So we started with, you got to first find out what your child want to be when they grow up. That's the first and foremost. Find out what they want to be. Once you figure out and find out what they want to be, and it's something they've been sticking with for a minute, you can tell that they into it, they determined. Then you support it, you encourage it. Then we talked about you doing research on what they want to be. And by you doing research, you'll help them develop the skills that they might need, like little soft, tangible skills that they might not be getting at school. You will help them develop that because you will know what the job entails because you done did research. We talked about that. And then we talked about, after you do that, the things that you notice in your child that might not be relevant in the things that they want to be when they grow up. You might see that your child is an effective communicator or something like that might not be relevant to the job. Your job, they got that quiet all day. But yet and still, the stuff that you want for them or what you want them to do for you might require them being communicating and talking all the time. So that's a skill that you enhance by talking to your baby all the time. So we talked about that. Then we talked about reintroducing what you do as far as your career. You want your child to follow in your footsteps. We talked about that yesterday. How you got to make it appealing to them. You got to show them the reward. You got to talk about what you do. You got to take them with you. Well, that's coming up. I don't overstep. But you got to talk about it. You got to make what you do sound interesting. Yeah. And then if you're an entrepreneur, you really got to sell it. Because you're doing something different. Something that might be like, oh my God, you starting your own business. You don't even know if you're going to get paid. Oh Lord Jesus. Ain't no benefit packet. Oh my God. Yeah, you got to really sell it if you're an entrepreneur and you want your children to take over your family business. So with that being said, today, the next step after you've done all of this in the exact order that I just told you, now it's time for you to incorporate your baby in what you do. Yep, you done talked about it. Now it's time to be about it. Now you got to incorporate them somehow into what you do. Yeah. Now this is after they've done what they had to do. They've done their practice. They've done their homework for school. They've done that. Then you figure out a schedule and a time for them to be able to do what you need them to do for you. Let's say you got a family business. You got to have them up there at the business. So you got to figure out a time to have them up there so they can learn how to run that business. So whatever it is you do, whatever career you have, let's say you're a lawyer or something, take your baby to work with you. Well, let your baby sit in on the courtroom. A couple mild cases so they can see how the jury work, how the court work, how the judge work, what the attorneys do. Yeah, and the prosecutor, all that stuff. Yeah, you got to find a way to incorporate them. You know, have them volunteer at your job. Yeah, get them their first job at your job. Yeah. And I mean, this might sound harsh, but even if they're not fully on board with what you do, they really don't like what you do, you might have to encourage, or you might have to be a parent and make them. Because even though they might not like it, I'm quite sure it's things that need to be learned, and habits that need to be learned, and things that they need to know with the career that you're probably trying to push them in. Because see, you might see something in them that they don't even realize is there. You know, those things that you pull out, I talked about that 3 days ago, that you might see in your child that they probably don't see or not even thinking about, because it ain't even in their agenda for what they got to do, for what they want to do for themselves. You might see some things in them to make you feel like, you know, at some point when they realize the reward from my career, they might ultimately want to do it. So you push them in that direction a little bit. Mind you, it's okay. But it's after you've clearly done all of this that I told you to do. Because by doing all of this that I told you to do first, I ain't going to say that kid owe you. I'm not going to say that. But if you've done all of this for them, it's only right that they should be willing to do what you need them to do. Especially if it's something that's going to help and benefit them. Like if you got a family business, that's something that's going to benefit them long term. Because once you pass on, you still got something here that they can use, something they can profit off, something they can build, something that they can get paid from, something they can raise their family off of. Like you're offering that opportunity for them. So why wouldn't they want to help? Pitch in and do what you need them to do. Yep. It's not easy. Because sometimes some of y'all might have jobs that's not kid friendly, so where you can't bring your baby. Maybe a police officer or something. You probably can't bring your baby off, or anything. But you still got to find ways to make them, hey, Portia, to get them interested. Like, for instance, oh shoot, y'all wait a minute, let Auntie handle this. I gotta find some money, Portia. Gosh darn it. Hey, Miss Dickie. Okay. All right. Have a good day, Portia. Okay, guys. Like, for instance, me writing a book. It was very important that my baby seen me throughout that whole process. They saw me with my journal all the time. I would encourage them. If they ever, it's not something that I pushed on to them, but I did allow them to see me start from finish, complete a book. Through the processing, through the publishing, that was important. So that right there was allowing them or helping them to know that if they ever wanted to write a book, it's possible. They can do it. I let them know everybody has a story to tell. Everybody got a story, whether you know it or not. I didn't think my story was interesting, but other people told me it was. Other people encouraged me to write a book. So there you go. Dysfunctional family knot is written. I'm working on book 2. Yeah. And then you got the, let me see, modeling. Y'all know I model. Y'all be seeing them pictures. I was looking all cute and sexy. And yeah, just in case my children wanted to model, I took them with me on photo shoots. I set up photo shoots for one of the kids. Both of them, the girls, both had photo shoots. So if modeling is something that they wanted to do, I exposed them to that because that's something that I do. So gotta incorporate your kids in it. So with that being said, I staged modeling sets for them. I allowed them to work the camera, get behind the scenes just in case If they want to be in photography, you got to make sure your child has opportunities and your child has options. You got to, let me rephrase that. You got to make sure your child has options. You got to make sure your child knows that they have options. You got to make sure your child knows that they have the ability to do whatever. Even if you're not really involved with whatever. Maybe the other parent is. Maybe you the type of parent to just get up, go to work 9 to 5, don't really care about nothing, let the child do what they want to do. But the other parent is into all that stuff. You got to support that. Because believe it or not, the child can do what both of y'all want them to do. It's all about scheduling time. Because you don't want to overwork the baby. you don't want to overwork the baby. But believe it or not, if you communicate what you guys both want for that child, y'all can actually set up a schedule to where the days that you had that baby, the baby's able to do what you need them to do and incorporate it in whatever lifestyle you trying to incorporate them in. And then on the days that the other parent has the child, that be days. As long as y'all don't impede on each other's time, and y'all not gonna work that baby. Y'all not gonna overwork that baby. And that baby gonna take an interest in both of y'all lifestyles. So it's never no need for the competition. It's never no need for competition. It's room for both of y'all in that baby's life. It's just a matter of y'all communicating and working that out. You know, the cleaning company, you already know I had the boys when they was like 7, 8 going with me to pull trash. All the way up into me having those schools in that municipal center. I had, the girls had a school, my brother had a school, my girl and my son had the police station. Like, it's you got to incorporate them in that, you know. So they've seen the cleaning company from start to finish. They've seen it when I didn't have no contracts to where they see me punching codes in. You got to incorporate them in what you do. Yep. Whether they're willing or not, you got to earn. Because it's only right. Because if you done everything in the beginning that I told you to do, you supported that baby, you've encouraged that baby, you financed some of that stuff, you've been there, you've been there. They owe you. The radio show. That's one thing that I had the children involved in. The girls would come, I would have them film behind the scenes, I would put them in front of the mic so that they'll know how to present themselves when you got to be hands-on with your babies. You got to be hands-on. So yeah, after you've done all this, it's time to incorporate them in what you do. And that's it, y'all, for Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. And I'm out. Mwah.